Hello there, and welcome into my beautiful frozen world. And I hope that this day gives you a moment of peace, rest, and joy. One of my many dreams as a child is to see snow. My siblings and I have always dreamt and talked about it growing up in the Philippines. It is such a beautiful blessing to live in this part of the USA. This year, we have 5 snow events which do not happen very often here in Tennessee. As I was enjoying this snow day, this quote came to mind: kindness is like snow, it beautifies everything it covers. Weeks ago, my best friend and I talked about the importance of being kind to one another and how our world desperately needs it more than ever. Because we never know what others are going through. The past 2 years have magnified the need for mental wellness. We must do our best to extend a little more kindness, love, patience, and understanding toward others. We also have to be proactive in finding ways to make our mental health a priority in our daily lives. As much as physical exercise strengthens the body, do we really find the time to do anything to become stronger mentally and spiritually? We must practice spiritual disciplines like prayer, meditation, and studying God's Word every day to strengthen these other components of our being. I believe that God has always provided us with ways of strengthening and healing our bodies, mind, and soul. We have doctors, scientists, therapists, counselors, and advancements in technology to help us. Experts recommend playing games, puzzles, and brain training apps, learning how to meditate, which improves processing speed, sharpens memory, and cognitive function. My friend recently shared a vlog about neurographic art on her YouTube channel, and this is what we are going to do in this vlog together. This method trains mindfulness, which means being present. Mindfulness is starting to dwindle with the rise of addiction to our phones, computers, and other technology-related things. In a mindful state, we can better retain information, listen, and be aware of, but not sabotaged by distractions. With these practices, we can choose to respond to life's challenges more rationally and less emotionally. Trained mindfulness professionals have seen the benefits of coaching their clients to develop this skill. Making it as regular in your routine as taking a shower is one of the very best gifts you can give yourself and others in your life. I think being introduced to Neuro Art came at the right time for me. As we are starting a new year, the cases of suicide had risen to an alarming rate in our communities. It saddens and bothered me that this is happening all around us. It was a sobering moment. The most shocking lately was the passing of Chesley Christ, a former Miss USA 2019 lawyer and television correspondent. I follow her on social media. She was very accomplished and was only 30 years old when she decided to end her life. My prayers and thoughts go to her family during this difficult time. We can no longer underestimate the value of our mental well-being. We have to take our mental health very seriously. Make seeking help from a mental health professional be a normal part of our healthcare, just as we seek help to address any health issues from other medical doctors. I used this neuro art method and found it therapeutic to release questions that I could not understand about the ongoing suicide rate in our country. As society adopted the stereotype of strong, meaning that we have to be the best all the time and that there is no room for rest, is a false narrative. If God rested on the seventh day of creation, I think we can allow ourselves to apply that in our hectic lives as well. He invites us to do that every time we cannot control situations, problems, or unrealistic expectations that we put in ourselves. Resting in the Lord means giving our cares and concerns to Him and letting Him carry them. Psalm 55:22 says, "Cast your burden on the Lord, and He shall sustain you. He shall never permit the righteous to be moved." Allow yourself to rest in the Lord. Neuro art or neurographical art are the same things. They can be image-based or abstract, while neurographica has a set of graphic algorithms that help solve various problems and achieve the desired results by connecting people to their inner source of neuron energy. Neurographica is an entire process based on a psychological method. Psychologist Pavel Piskarev created this in 2014. He describes the process as a creative method of transforming from fear and chaos of our world into something more calming and peaceful. This process uses a drawing technique that links the conscious with the subconscious. The link happens by activating connections between brain cells and neurons. The result is an awareness and mindfulness that helps turn stress into calm. There are a couple of variations of this art form and a bit of contradiction between sources, but it is a pretty easy concept to grasp and extremely fun and relaxing to create. There is very little information available about this type of art, and most of it is not in English at this time. However, I feel it is still worth exploring and sharing with you. I am not a psychologist and do not offer this method as a form of therapy. It is never meant to substitute for professional psychological or medical help, but as an excellent complementing tool for self-development and self-reflection. Neuro art does not require drawing skills, which is the best part. If you can hold the pencil, you can participate. The benefits of neurographic art are subtle but many. Through creating a neurographic art practice, you can relieve anxiety, find peace, reduce stress, calm your mind, gain clarity, get things in perspective, help yourself, help others, use images to express your inner feelings, allow abstract thoughts to pop into your head, and make fabulous art for your wall. If you wish to participate in this exercise, feel free to pause this video and grab any paper, colored markers, and pencils available to you. Here is how to implement the process. Dim the lights and play relaxing music to set the stage. Write the concern or issues you are dealing with at the back of your paper. Some of them call this step the quest. Focus silently on what you feel as you think about it in your mind. Some versions of this step are to stress yourself out to release emotions. You scream it out. You might feel a little silly doing this. Here is an example of a stress picture. Neurographic art can be related to an intuitive scribble. A scribble has no form and appears on the page. It happens when you focus on a problem or a decision you wish to address. Energy flows around you, through your body and in your brain. Everything you do in life comes from the thoughts you have, the words you say, and the deeds you do. There is a direct connection from one step to the next. You cannot do something such as make art not unless you think about it. The next step was to go back over your lines and continue any lines that stopped short. Run it off the edge of the paper. Continue by adding in some neuro links. At this point in the process, I was still feeling some stress over what I was doing and whether or not it was right, but I found that the more I work on it, the more comfortable I felt, and I began to relax and go into a meditative state. The entire point was to get lost in the artwork. Finding a pen and getting some paper are practical decisions you need to make before making art. When you draw and make art, your hand holds the pen, your brain moves your hand, and therefore, there is a direct connection between your hands and your thoughts. What you draw is the magic that comes through a neurographic art practice. It is easier to make these stress lines when your hand is not touching the paper. That's one of my tips for you. Examine the intersection of lines and make connections by rounding off the corners. Curving out is the process of transforming your reality from whatever it is that is causing you stress into something more positive. You have to let yourself go into a meditative state. As I was curving the corners out, I started feeling more relaxed. They call this part of the process tedious, but I enjoyed it. I felt released from the stress of everything going on in my quest. Continue the drawing by adding transformational shapes and lines to fill the spaces until you think it is complete. Try using this exercise I found in drawing neuro lines. Use a coin and start pushing it with your pen. You might find yourself reaching a meditative state as you relax and dive further into the process. When I was working on mine, I felt a strong indication of when I needed to continue working and when it felt done. I worked on mine for 2 weeks until I felt satisfied and my art complete. I did not find any strict rules on coloring neurographic art. I am not sure if there is a specific process. They do encourage you to use whatever coloring medium you have. I approach this form of art differently. As I was meditating on the concern I wrote at the back of my paper, I felt compelled to first start sprinkling colors all over it. So I grabbed my Brusho watercolor powder and started sprinkling it all over the paper. I felt using lighter colors for my inner world and bolder, dark colors for my outer world. I then scribbled my lines for 5 seconds while drawing and still in a meditative state. Go with your instinct when coloring yours. Stay in a meditative state. One of the Neurographica instructors I watched advised you to close your eyes and pick 3 or more colors if you are not sure what to use on your art. Art should be therapeutic and relaxing. It is possibly the only way I get to meditate in a stricter sense. I tried many other ways before, but my mind could not focus on one thing. It keeps on wandering someplace else. This art keeps me focused on the task and gives me a sense of centeredness. I hope you guys get to experience that as well by trying this form of art. Psychology plus art are always fascinating to me. I was amazed at how it looked like neurons. It is like looking at what is happening inside my head. This form of art could train mindfulness and the practice of meditation in us. Neuro art reminded me of the law of attraction. It is the relationship between your thoughts and how they create your reality. Everything we say or do every day will become a part of our default mode of thinking. Scientists call it the default mode network. It is a series of neurons in your brain that has automated certain things in your life. We have a default mode network because we need it with so many things to do every day that should not require us to do a lot of thinking. The problem is, thinking patterns become a part of our default mode network. Any negative word or thought about ourselves or how we deal with situations becomes a part of the default mode network. We need to realize that it is the same process in teaching ourselves to be positive or be present. It will require a mindset change. It is going to be a process, not an event. It is inescapable in the sense that as long as we exist, we will be affecting the life that we perceive. We cannot always control our circumstances, but we can control our responses to them. Your responses to the challenges you face can make you stronger. It can provide the optimism and proactive attitude associated with resilience in difficult situations. But it must not be used as a tool of self-blame. Mental health is crucial in our daily living. When mental health is good, people are productive, happy, and healthy. A healthy mind will help us bounce back from what life throws at us. Please find a way and the time to take care of it. I hope you all enjoyed spending time with me today and experienced rest in your mind and soul through Neuro Art. I would like to see what you guys came up with. Kindly tag me on my Instagram account. God bless you all with a powerful and healthy mind. With all my love, bye for now.